temple here. I live very close by here near a temple, so there is some ritualistic activity going on right now, and that's the background voice that you're hearing. Try to keep it very low, but I don't think you can avoid it. So first of all, thank you very much for taking time to join. Can we get the YouTube recording started?
Yeah, we are live.
Live, okay, all right. Thank you, Bharati. So good evening, friends, and welcome all for today's wisdom sharing session on truth. So what we have been talking about in last few weeks or months per se is about one perspective of truth. There are many perspectives. If you look at Sahasrara, the crown chakra, there are 1,000 petals, right? Each petal is each perspective, right? So there is that doesn't mean that it is only 1,000. It means anantam. Anantam means infinite number of perspectives are there, because every individual or the personality is unique, every mind is unique, every processing power within that mind is unique, and obviously everything that what we bring to this world is indeed unique as well. So no two people will have same kind of karma, no two people will have same kind of lifestyles, no two people will have same kind of thinking, and absolutely no two people will ever go through the karma in the same time frame or in the same fashion. Even though you have the same karma coming your way, you may be observing or going through it in a different way versus anyone else. So let's talk about the truth in general, right? Now we talked about there is a witnessing aspect of it, there is an observation of the soul that we need to get to there, and there are aspects that you need to understand as to how to get to this reality of oneness. Words mean nothing to me until I try to practice them, right? We all understand that there is a greater power out there, and that same power what is out there is also inside me, and that which stays permanent is truth, is what we call that which is absolute, that which is eternal, that which is immortal, that which is ancient. That is what we call truth. But how do I get that experience? Why does it matter to me? Yeah, there is a truth out there, but I don't experience it, I don't have a feel of it, I don't see it, I cannot sense it, in any form, whether it is physically or through my senses or through my emotions or through my mental state. I'm not able to feel any of that is out there. Then the natural question is, why bother? Why do I need to bother? Right? Now that's when the reality kicks in, as you start to understand the bigger picture of what truth is all about. Truth is nothing but what you are. And why does it matter? It certainly matters because if you don't understand the aspects of truth, or if you don't understand your own reality, then you are living in the false reality, number one. Number two, if I'm living in the false reality, what is the big deal? Right? I'm living my life, I have my family, I have my esters, elders, everybody, the near and dears, I'm living the life like a king size. How does it matter? Because the life that you are leading, when we say it's false, it means that you will never get peace, you will never get happiness, and you will never be able to get out of the sorrows and the miseries of the world. That is what it means. So if I have to get out of any of these things, then I need to get into this state of truth, into the reality. What is that I am made up of? Who am I? Where do I begin, right? Where do I come from? Some of these questions come from that reality of truth, which is far, far away for most of us because we are not in the reality. We are living in our own reality where we think that whatever I am doing, whatever I am going through right now, it's happening because for a reason, but you don't even want to go into the reason. Number one. Number two, you don't want to even come out of this pain. Every one of us, including me, including, even the great masters in our society, right? They start to look at things from their own perspective. And we all have this feeling that I wanted to come out of this problem. I don't want this pain. I don't want this issue to, linger in my mind. I certainly don't want a lifestyle where I'm going through a lot of physical or emotional or mental stress. Right? Every one of us have. But why is that we are not able to skip this? Why is that it continues to come and haunt us all the time? For that, there are two things that we are lacking. Number one, the infinite information surrounding this understanding. When I say infinite information, there are multiple perspectives that we need to understand to really see as to why things are happening the way they are happening to you. You need to have absolutely the 360-degree view of your life, in your movements, in your issue, in your situations, in your circumstances, whatever may come, may go, you should have absolute clarity. Right now, I do not have the clarity. What happens if I don't have the clarity? I suffer. As simple as that. My suffering is because of my choice of not having the clarity. So you may say, hey, okay, if that is what is the problem, then I will get a clarity. I will try to understand what this life is all about. Some of us have taken that oath, right, our path into the truth, and we have started reading books. We have started looking at other masters' wisdoms. We have started to understand the big picture, but yet I still have this sorrow. Why is that? Can anyone explain? I mean, anyone share your thoughts on this? Why? Even you have a greater understanding, you have big picture, you realize that, okay, this is the way of living, but yet we still have the problems.
Because the mind doesn't allow you to do it.
Yeah, that's one way to say. Yes. Why does mind allow you to do it?
Ignorance.
Ignorance, yes. What else?
Attachments.
Attachments, yes. What else?
We are not aligned to the truth.
Not aligned to
Complete.
the truth, but you have the understanding. You are on the path.
In the proper fashion, we are not aligned, still not aligned to the truth. We are not seeing clarity in the clarified. Yeah, that's all.
Yes. So all these points, whatever you said, the attachments, the mind activity, not having the clarity, or you're not able to get there. You understand it, but you're not there yet. All these are coming to us because we do not practice the truth that we understand. There is a significant lack in the practice aspect of it. I never want to bring the truth into my life. I have a very good, profound understanding of truth. I understand my life, in a dogmatic way. It is running day in, day out. I run it like a machine, right? I do realize it. And I also have a very clear understanding what is truth all about. But yet, I'm not able to get to it. Why? I am not able to practice it. It is only in that practice you realize the truth. You bring the truth into your life, then truth itself will become your reality. Always we have to understand that truth is not something that is out there and you are living in a false reality. No, truth is what it's out there, is what is in you as well, as your situations, as your circumstances, whatever you are going through, there is truth in there. That realization is missing for most of us. It is because of lack of practice. And rightfully, we said earlier, right? Someone said earlier, mind. Why is my mind not letting me to go to truth? What is bothering? It's a very simple question to ask, right? Each of us can ask this simple question. Why is that my mind not letting me to see the truth? Anyone? I want to make it more interactive, just to make it very lively discussion. Please.
Because we're not there yet, or we're not like attained that eligibility to be there yet.
Yeah, that's the state of it. What you say, yes, it is because of the eligibility you're not there. But then why?
Lacking discipline, practice. Lacking discipline in whatever path you are following.
What else? Think. Give it some thought. Deeper thought.
The mind has been in control so far, so it wouldn't allow the otherwise.
Mind has not gained control other. Okay. See what, let me give you the context, right? See what happens is we have to go to the root of the mind. What is mind all about is where you need to start. Then you will understand why it is not allowing. What is mind? The number one question you need to ask. What is mind? There is a difference between brain and mind. Can anyone explain what is the difference between brain and mind?
Brain is a physical thing which you are, which you can able to see, and the mind is invisible, which you can only feel through emotions.
Okay.
Emotions.
What else?
And
there's a
thoughts.
bigger, deeper definition. Thoughts. Okay. What
Thoughts
else?
are producing like ripples in that.
Mind desires.
Mind desires. Okay.
Brain controls.
Brain controls. So if you really want to look at the difference between, and I'll come to the previous point after the difference between brain and mind is, it is the physical thing. Mind see considered as a brain, right? What mind is all about is the information that is stored in those cells. Every cell has some information. What is that? There is a space, right? If you go into the cells, we all understand the neuroscience of brain, right? What it talks about is when you go into the cell, into the DNA, into the ATP, you see that there is only space. There is nothing else there. What is that space consists of? It consists of all the memories, all the information about your past, your current, and your future. Whatever you have brought yourself into, everything is stored in that. That is mind. So if we bring this context into the earlier conversation, why is my mind not allowing me to do anything? It is because of all these memories, the emotions, the feelings, the kind of lifestyle, the kind of impressions that I have created to myself that is blocking, okay, that is blocking my vision of truth. It is not that you are not realizing truth. Every single day, each one of us are realizing truth in our deepest state of sleep. Please do not mistaken this. Every one of us is experiencing truth to its absolute best in our deepest state. But yet, I do not have the consciousness to be able to realize it. So, if I sum it up, the conversation, how do I bring this whole thing together is whatever the state that you are experiencing or whatever the state that you are in your deepest state, if that can happen in your waking state, that is enlightenment. That is nothing but truth in reality. Right now, what is happening to me? In the waking state, my mind is blocking me to get to the truth because of all these impressions. And hence, I don't have that deepest state of being. In my sleep, I have the deepest state of being, but yet I am not conscious. Unconsciously, I am with truth in sleep. Consciously, right, I am struck in the mind. If you bring these two together, right, in the waking state, if I am conscious and in that state of being, that is nothing but enlightenment. That is nothing but you are living in that truth or in that reality. That is the goal of each and every one of us. Only in that state you will get peace, you will get happiness. When I talk about peace or happiness, let us not compare that with the material peace and happiness. I am actually enjoying an ice cream. I may have the temporary pleasure and a feel of I am happy. That is not the happiness we are talking. This happiness is maybe 1 billion times more than the happiness that you're getting in an ice cream. Okay. So this happiness, whatever we are talking about, is a permanent happiness that will not leave you after that realization. After that realization, it will not leave you. So why is this important that I understand about this truth? And why did Patriji or any astral or any great master always talked about this truth and this truth alone? Is because of this reason. You will have infinite peace within you. You will have abundance of happiness that is always pouring in you. Absolutely no sorrow. What else is needed now? What else is the life's goal beyond this? Right? So it is for this truth I am putting my time into. I am putting my practice into. I am putting my experience or whatever I'm trying to learn or knowledge, whatever I'm bringing in. And through that knowledge, whatever the practice I'm doing, I'm creating a wisdom of my own. All of that is because of this one thing. And why is this stuff? Like we said earlier, coming back to that point of why mind is not allowing me, because of these impressions in my mind, what happens is naturally mind is always pulled outward. This truth, what we talked about, this awareness, what you get, this state of being, whatever is happening, is at the deepest state within you. Is at the deepest state within you. Let us not mistake the truth is somewhere out there. Truth is within us. But I am not able to get to the truth because my mind is wandering outside because of my impressions, because of my past life, present life, and the way of my living standards. My mind is accustomed, duty bound to go out all the time. Because of that, I am not able to come back to my reality. The practice that you are bringing on and the knowledge that you're getting, gaining every time you're sitting in these conversations is to understand, is to have the deeper understanding to see how do I make my mind inward. If you really ask me, that is the only practice that every one of us should do. How do I make my mind go inward? Because if I can figure that out, if that one thing I can figure that out, you will have peace, you will have happiness, and you will never have sorrow. There is absolutely no sorrow in your life ever. Because I am not able to figure that out, or nor I am able to stand to that, I am going through all this drama, whatever I am going through right now. It doesn't really matter whether you're physically suffering, emotionally suffering, whether you have things that you wanted to make happen, whether you have absolute desires that you want to bring it into your life, or your life is going in a miserable path where things are not working to your conscious, whatever may be those external factors, that are making things happen to you, it has nothing to do with the state of you in that being. So this knowledge of truth is the only way that we understand that taking my mind inward is only when I get out of all these things. Every time we talk about the karma, karmic aspect of it, right? And sometimes we talk about, I have this problem, I want to get rid of this problem. Have we ever thought about it to understand why one after other, I continue to have these problems? Anyone, please? Any insights on this? Why is that we continue to have these problems, one after other? From the childhood till now, we continue to see the problems. Why is that?
Is that because we're not like accepting it, but accumulating more and more karmas?
Accumulating more and more karmas?
By not accepting it and then trying to fight it, and then
No, it is because of
or
that
not
karma.
No
lacking the
awareness.
knowledge.
See, it is
No.
because of that karmas you are having these situations. No, the question is, why is that? Is the question. Why
No
is that
awareness.
problems? What is it?
No awareness.
No awareness.
I think all problems come for a learning. We have to learn from them.
Now, do I have that understanding? Do I have that firm state of being that everything that is coming my way is for me to learn?
Well, if it happens to others, yes, we easily say it's learning, learn it. But if it comes to you, then you're totally devastated.
Exactly. Right? See, it is the nature. You have to understand the fundamental reason why the problems continue to come to us is because of these impressions. These impressions are stuck in our mind forever and ever and ever. Until those impressions are cleared, we will continue to get these problems. And what we are doing is not understanding that reality of it. We try to fight the problem. Instead of embracing the problem and trying to take it to the next level, we try to fight the problem. To say that, hey, why did you come to me? Why is that only I am suffering? All these, questions that come in our mind is because of lack of understanding or lack of deeper experience, that we try to question our own state of being. It is you who brought this to yourself. Now, when do I start to realize that? When you get into truth. When you start to accept the truth, embrace the truth, you will start to think that, okay, this came to me in this life. Okay, what does it mean to me? Now, is that going to help me to transcend it? All karmas in one shot of it? No. Is that what liberation is all about? Or is that what realization is all about? Absolutely not. Then what is the truth here? The truth in this state is very, very clearly understanding that no matter how much you put your mind outward into fixing these problems, you will continue to create more and more and more and more and more of such situations, of such things. They continue to keep coming. So what do I have to do? I have to become agnostic to this approach of me going and fixing this karma all the time. I get a problem, I go fix it, next problem will come. Like this, there is an infinite chain of problems that are out there because you have so many impressions of your mind within you. You will get tired of trying to solve your problems, but your problems will never go away. Because the source of all these problems is coming from your mind. It is creating that. We never went to that state of the mind to understand that it is my mind that is creating. It is a vicious circle. It is a vicious circle. So if you are wise, if you have the good, clear understanding of truth, you don't fight with the problems anymore. So what do I do then? Now with this clarity, what do I do? Anyone?
Accepting the truth.
Okay, accepting the truth is okay. Then what? What does it mean?
Means embracing the problem and going forward to find the solutions. What we can
So
do.
again, you are in the solution phase now, right? You're stuck in the problem. You're trying to go through the problem, and you're saying that okay, I'm going to go through this. You find a solution. You get A, B, C, D option. You derive at one of it, and then you're done with it. But the next problem came, right?
So I understand that you're saying we need to get out of the cycle of identifying our problems as problems and then running after them to resolve, because then we keep doing that, we're stuck in the cycle of infinite number of problems, infinite solutions. So I'm trying to grasp that. So we have challenges in this life, and overcoming those challenges is part of getting to the truth or part of learning. So how do we identify that we have this issue but not let it bother us?
Exactly.
So then,
now we are talking.
then we're not going to run. Then we can't resolve it.
No, it is not. It is not about resolving it, right? It is not like I got a problem, I got to resolve it, right? There are two things here we have to understand. Number one, who is the one that is going through this problem? See, again, we have to go to the roots. Always remember, every question that is posed here, you have to go to the root of the question. The root of the question that you need to ask yourself is, who is the one going through the problem? Am I the one going through the problem, or it's my state that is going through the problem? What I brought is what is going through the problem, or am I the one going through the problem? Now, this is the distinctive difference, right? You have to understand the distinctive difference is, if I am in truth, then I know that it is my body, my mind that is going through this. And I am witnessing it. Number two, witnessing it. It is through the aspect of that witness you transcend the entire problem. The era of problems that you have in your mind, you will erase, eradicate forever and ever when you become a witness to that particular situation. Right now, I am not that. Right now, what I am in is I am thinking, or I am feeling, or I'm kind of physically struck that I have to go through this problem. That is the difference between living in truth versus living in false reality. If I live in this false reality, that's why it said two things, right? Go to the root of this, then we start to understand. You have to identify, you have to distinguish between, okay, if I am the one who is witnessing this, then why am I going through this? You cannot go through this if you are not the one being part of it. It is like you are watching, you are sitting in the bay, and then you're watching the water coming and going, and yet you are feeling that you are already soaked up, you're already going deeper into the water. How is this happening? At any moment of time, there is only one reality that is active. This reality, what is active for me when I am in this problem, is only one thing, the false reality. Because I perceive or I see as if that this reality is what is I am going through it. When you have this I am feeling that I am the one going through this, you create emotion. You create more karma. That's why don't take anything inside. If you take anything inside your system, you will create more karma. Oh, this is a state of being, what you're talking about, this is a truth, not all can be there and all. It has nothing to do with all can be there or not. It is about you taking a step back. Right now, you are in the situation. You are feeling that I am in the situation. One problem is taking you for a ride, day in, day out. One problem. Like this, you have thousands and thousands of problems each of us have gone through in our lifetimes. But yet, in this moment, this one problem has made me suffer a lot. Why? It is because of my ignorance. This is what masters are talking about. That's why when you are reading about truth, it is very, very subtle. It is very subtle. If you miss that subtleness, you will never get the fact of truth. You may get all the 99, right? You may have, like, for example, in this case, there are 1,000 realities that you can poke. I can be in the problem, I can witness the problem, or I can go into the problem and try to fix the problem, or I have alternate ways to look at the problem. You may have 1,000 different ways you look at the problem. But out of this 1,000, there is only one truth. Only one truth. And that truth alone will save you. Every 999 probabilities that you have looked at will only take you deeper into the problem. This is the reason why you have to have very clear understanding of truth. If you don't have that here, you cannot implement it. You think you are implementing it, but you don't have that clarity. You are within that 999. Some may choose to transcend the karma. Some may choose to fight the karma. Some may choose to figure out how do I get out of this karma. By putting more karma into this karma, they may think that it may go away. Some may do some service thinking that it will go away. There is only one thing that will take away, the knowledge within that problem. Truth. That's the truth. That's the only truth.
Can I
Gnana
ask a question?
karma dagdana. Yes, please.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between perceiving a problem or seeing a problem?
See, when you are seeing a problem, yeah,
perceiving is experiencing it, seeing is witnessing it. Is that what you're trying to say?
So perceiving means it's not, see, when you are trying to perceive a problem, you're trying to view an alternate viewpoints. You're bringing, you're bringing some kind of visualization into it or imagination into it, right?
Or interpreting it.
Exactly. You're interpreting in multiple different ways, right? You're actually expanding it in a multiple different horizons, right? Trying to see, oh, this is a possibility, that is a possibility, and all that.
Right.
And then your perception is your reality. Okay, never forget this also. That once you have fixed that this is what it is, that is your reality at that moment.
Right.
There is no truth. There is no truth. Because once you made that this perception is what it is, now you agreed with your mind that is what I'm going to have in my life.
So while perceiving it, how do you transcend to truth drastically? Because once you are perceiving, you are so deeply dwelling into it. But how
you don't perceive it? That's why you.
How do you transcend immediately to knowledge side? Like, how do you train yourself to transcend like that?
Exactly. See, that is where your intelligence comes in play. It is not the mind that makes things happen for you. We are all in the false pretext that it is my mind that making the drama. Alongside with mind, there is something called intelligence. This intelligence is responsible to make those decisions. Nishchayatmakaha buddhihi. You are not able to decide in that very moment what you are going through to say that whether I am the one going through it or I am the one witnessing it. Because this is very subtle. If the moment you say, I am the one witnessing it, you are in the truth. Now the question is, if I am the one witnessing it, am I going to transcend it? No, you won't. You won't transcend it. Then how does this work then? Two things are happening parallelly. The moment you come into that state of witness, number one, you are not creating any more karma for that particular situation. No more karma, no more issues, no more duplicating, triplicating, quadruplating. Nothing is going to happen, right? All that is gone. Number two, you start to understand. Yeah. What is that?
Sorry, sir. Question. So, witnessing means what exactly does that mean? So, just looking at the situation, or how do we witness that?
See, witnessing means you are stepping back.
If we are in a situation.
If you are in a situation, you are part of the situation right now, right? You are for example, you are in your bedroom or someplace, right? Sitting in the kitchen area and all that. You are in there, okay? So if I ask you where are you, you'll say I'm in the kitchen, right? Similarly, for most of us, every problem that you are dealing with, you are in the problem.
Yes.
But the truth is not in the problem. Truth is the one witnessing the problem, right? That means you are not in the kitchen. You are actually outside the kitchen. You are looking at the kitchen. That is truth, right? So just an example, right? So in this situation, if I say I am the one going through the problem, means what? You have accepted that your body mind. You accepted that your body mind. But what is truth? Your soul. There is a distinctive difference between you being a soul and you being a body mind. But why is that I am not able to differentiate between these two? Because I don't have the clarity. Number one, I don't have the deeper understanding, nor I never allowed my mind to go inward. Whatever may be that practice that I need to bring in, I did not bring that. Because of that, what happened now is I am the one holding everything for myself. It is like, Ramana Maharshi talks about it, right? When you are going in a train, what is the ideal way to do it is you go into a train, you sit on the train, you take your luggage out, you put it somewhere, and then you sit comfortably. But instead, what you are doing is, in a train of this samsara, what we are doing is, we are getting on this train of samsara, we are keeping the luggage on our head, even though we are sitting on the train. How stupid is that? It is because of my ignorance. Right? So what we are trying to unpeel here is to come back to that state. Come back to every time you have situation, you got to come back to the state. And this has to happen 24. That is why this is the only practice you need to do. Nothing else will work. If I say that anything else gonna give me peace or happiness, or I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that, that is it is your mind playing tricks with you. Because mind is again taking you outward, saying that, okay, let me not do meditation today, I'm just gonna relax and watch a movie. Your mind played a trick with you that through movie you're gonna get happiness. At that point, you should start to realize that watching movie is outward. Meditation is inward. Where is the peace? How many of us are questioning that? So, same concept applies to the problems. When you have a problem, are you stepping back from the problem and witnessing the problem? Okay, I am not the one going through this. So how do I look at this? Are you calm? Are you centered? Are you balanced? Even though things are happening to you. That is what we need to catch hold of. And that is why truth is the most powerful thing. There is nothing else. It's a torch bearer for everything in your life. There's nothing else. Hold on one second, guys. Got to open the door. Apologies. So without this reality, where am I? I am living in this false pretext of my own phobia. which is what we call illusion, false illusion, mistaken identity. You name it, whatever you want to name it. It doesn't really matter. You are not in the reality of your state or your being. If I am not in that state, or if I am not in that truth, it doesn't really matter what I am, because I will never get the peace, happiness, nor I'm going to come out of these sorrows. So trying to understand this particular aspect of truth is the most important thing. There is nothing else that is important to us in our life. Now, what I'm trying to do is, if you take this in context of God, what I'm trying to do is, instead of trying to look at within myself as a witness and understand what is going on, I am diverting my energies or focus or attention to God and saying that, Almighty, you are the most powerful one. You probably gave me this karma. Why don't you give me an opportunity to transcend this karma? How fair is this? That's why scriptures are saying that then the one that who is doing, who is asking, who is looking external, who is going out and figuring out, is Agnani. He's ignorant. At that very point, he's ignorant. From what context? In the context of truth. In the context of truth, he's ignorant. He's not a truth seeker. Why? Truth is something else altogether. It is not somewhere out there. It is inside me. I need to go figure it out. I need to step back. I need to come back. I need to go deeper. So if I do not have this understanding, how am I looking at my meditation? How am I looking at my knowledge? How am I looking at my way of living? The mixed baggage of life is what is causing all these miseries for us. I am neither here nor there. I am neither in the realization of the truth, nor I understand the aspect of God. I don't have clarity. I just go with the flow. If you go with the flow, you are bound to get problems. You're stuck in that. And hence, I always have issues. So, when I start to bring this reality into my life, what is happening? A shift is happening. This shift of energies, this is what we call transformation. This transformation will allow us to stand still in every situation, in every moment, in every aspect of you as a being. That which cannot be told, that which cannot be seen, that which cannot be heard, can only be experienced, is what you will experience. So if you ask this question to yourself, you will understand that it is your own choices that made your life so very thing what you are. The very ego within your mind is the sole responsible for your life, what you are leading today. Acceptance, okay, I understand that I have done a lot of bad karma. Now what do I do? There is a saying now, right? I have done so much of bad karma, then replace that with good karma. Is that gonna let me go out of it? No. Realizing truth is the only way out of it. So the moment I start to embrace this truth as a concept for myself and saying that, okay, I want to live in this truth, I want to bring this truth into my life, what are the things I need to do? Again, it is not like somebody telling you that you have to be in this truth. You are starting to realize, you are starting to figure it out on your own. Okay, whatever I'm doing outside now, I went to this puja, I went to this temple, I was in this state with this individual. All these things are temporary. As I am in the temple, I felt the energies. It was so good. All that is good. But then when I'm come back, my problem is still a problem. You go meet somebody, you feel, oh, this is what it is. No, you still have the problem. Because it is all external. Where is the problem to begin with? Internal. Where is the solution for that problem to begin with? Internal. Instead of internalizing myself, I am externalizing all the time. And hence, your path of looking for solution is never going to be in the rightful spirit. And in conclusion, you will never get out of your problems. One after other, one after other, one after other, it will suck you down. Every one of us. And eventually, a time will come that your body will say, I'm done, bye-bye. This is the state of humanity today. Right? Whether we accept or do not accept, that is the reality of the world out there. Show me one person who has not gone inside, a deep meditator, leave them yogis and the people who have gone deeper and all, leave them aside. And then show me one person who is peaceful and happy all the time with the material gains. You will not find. Even the richest of the richest will have some problem, because the problem that what he is thinking or he is believing he is, or he is the one going through it, in whatever the false pretext that he has put himself in, he will never be able to come out of it, because that is not the truth. The 999 permutations and combinations, you figured it out that you are part of it. The one thing that will let you out of it, you never touched it. This is the reason, if you go to any grand masters, if you refer to any scriptures, they talk about this one thing and one thing alone. They do not talk about 999 things. Because I never had this vision of one thing that can bring me out of it, I do not accept it. It is not easy to accept it, the reality. When somebody comes and tells you that I have this, somebody comes and says, hey, I have this problem, I want to get out of it. People call me all the time, right? Hey, I have a situation going on, I need to figure it out and all that. They are not realizing that they are not the one going through it, number one. Number two, they are going through it because they themselves have created it. Number three, there is no other way to get out of it other than having the knowledge on that very thing what they are talking about. How many of us are in that state of being? With absolute awareness. Whatever is happening to me, it is happening to me because of me. If you have already made compromise, right? If you have already agreed with your mind that, okay, this is happening because I brought this karma to me, then why suffer? Why am I suffering? Because my intelligence is not powerful enough to withhold the emotion of my mind. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the deeper knowledge of truth. Because of that, my mind is fluctuated. My mind is, one time it will listen to my intelligence, other time my mind will take over and intelligence is gone. That is where the perspective, earlier madam was asking the question, perspective. This perspective is what is making this reality for me. In this way, if I look at it, my intelligence said, hey, that's not it is. You got to stop looking at it. Mind said, it's fine. And then immediately mind shifted. Sankalpa vikalpa. It shifted to negative aspect of it. My intelligence cannot hold it now because I don't have the knowledge. Because I never understood the truth in all sense. That is why, even if you go through the scriptures, if you talk to any grandmasters, what they keep telling you is, keep listening to the truth. Keep listening to the truth. It is not easy. This is the most subtlest thing that is out there. You will miss within a fraction of a second the reality of the truth, and you go in the false pretext. The power of mind is such that it will not even let you to even look at it in that moment. That is the power of mind. By the time you start to realize you're way out there, other than saying that I am helpless, I cannot do anything, feeling, depressed, distressed, fear, whatever, agony, whatever you call the low hanging vibrations that you carry along, you will start to give up in life. And hence, this is the torch bearer. That is why this knowledge is the most important thing. If in every, imagine, right? If in every instance, every situation that is happening to you, you are in this reality of truth, what is coming your way? Joy is something that is going to continuously pour onto you, right? You will be joyous all the time. It is not because it's like, you're trying to bring it. It's that natural state of you in being there. Whatever may be happening to your body, it doesn't really matter. Whatever happening in your mind doesn't really matter, because you're in the state of ecstasy all the time. State of bliss. I was talking about yesterday the supra-casual body to one of the Mahavatar Foundation. They've asked us to talk, right? So we're talking about supra-casual body, that blissful body that you carry, where you're not realized yet, but you are so close. You're in the fifth body, Anandamaya Kosha. Supra-casual state. You're in that aparoksha sthiti, right? You moved from your Vijnanamaya, which is your intelligent body, and you have gone into very deeper. Now you are in that Anandamaya Kosha, where you are trying to get paroksha to aparoksha. Just becoming that state of witness for everything what is happening around you, including the work that is happening within your body. So when I say witness, the witness is not you witnessing through your eyes what is happening outside. You have your fourth eye, the conscious eye. Through that, you are witnessing what is happening within your bodies. The physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, the intuitional body. You are aware of what is going on. Alongside the external world, what is going on. That is what I'm talking about witnessing means. That state is not going to come just like that. Right? So this is where we start to believe, right? The life is not just about moving things. Life is not just about doing things. Life is not just about, seeing and having fun, right? There is a much more meaning to life. If I can accept this reality to myself, my life is my best teacher. There is no other teacher out there. My life is my best teacher. If I look at my life from morning to evening, the relationships, the emotional aspects of it, the feelings that I generate, the thoughts that I go through, the actions that I pass through, right? The kind of time, how much time management, right? How much time I put for each of these things, you will easily figure it out. By end of day, if you do the math, you will know where you are. It is no brainer. That's why all wise men said you are living in this dogmatic lifestyle. Why did they say it's a mechanical life? Because you don't even understand what is going on outside you, within you, or deeper inside you. So if I take out meditation, if I take out this knowledge aspect of it, what am I? I am zero. Because I am only going deeper into my problems. I'm never looking at to solve the problems. It may perceive Okay, now again, let's talk about this perceive. I figured out a way to come out of this problem. Is this permanent or temporary? Let's suppose you figured out a problem that you want to get out externally. Is that permanent or is that temporary? Anyone?
Temporary.
Temporary, exactly. Because you are trying to subside the aspect of the problem and come out of it as if that nothing has happened. How long are you going to do that? Second thing is, you may think that in this lifetime, okay, this problem is gone. Doesn't mean that next life you are not going to have the same problem again. Because the only way you transcend a problem is through the knowledge of it. What is that knowledge? That you are not the one going through it. Then how do I see that? By getting yourself into the reality of truth. So let us not confuse ourselves with the truth and the God, right? God is truth, truth is God. When you bring them together. Even if I am going to a temple, you are able to see that thing that out there is also within me, and you have this wonderful feeling, this it's all bliss, right? This entire universe is one piece. That I'm the one going through it, or I'm not the one, living through it. You're absolutely fine. You can go do whatever you want to do. But it is tough to be in that state. That is the reason they say, when you are deeper in your state of being, when you're practicing deeper, please do not bring your mind again. Because it is the mind that making the drama that, hey, we have this celebration, we have this Diwali, we got to go do this puja, we got to go do. Because now you're really bringing that mind out again. What happens? You have done so much of penance, the practice of meditation, you went so deeper, you almost brought your mind to zero. At that very moment, somebody came and said, let's go to this puja. Now you have brought your mind into 100. Because now that puja is happening external, you're realizing now. All that work that you have done internally is gone. That is why awareness is very important. It is not like you are fighting with that individual saying that I don't want to be in the puja, or I don't want to. You have transcended that state of external figuring out thing, because now you are in the reality of truth. That individual who came to you is still in this 999, the combination of 999. That individual is still within that. You are in this one thing, the one thing that has a door to the reality. That is where you are in. So the choice is for you to decide, am I going to come back to this 999 permutations thing, whatever that factor that's pulling you, or I'm going to stick to my reality, which is the truth, which will lead to realization, liberation, enlightenment, whatever we call that. So the more and more we start to embrace this understanding, the more and more you start to receive this information, the more and more you process this information within you, there is a shift that starts to happen within. Okay, this is the reason why we say that when you start doing meditation for some time, when you have the knowledge of truth, you just are not changing. The change is not within you. The change is observed by everyone surrounding you as well. Your own family will start to see a change in you. Your near and dear will start to change in you, because now the perception of you going through and fixing issues and trying to figuring out all that is gone, because now you're calm, you're balanced, you're centered. Irrespective of what may be that external influence that's creating that moment of stress, you're still happy, because you figured out that one thing that's going to let you out of it. The entire world may suffer, you will never suffer. So every time you sit with the truth, You have to understand that that alone will liberate me. And I am that. I am already that. You are not trying to become that. You are not trying to figure out what is that. You are already that. That's the beauty of it. That's why this works 100% every time. If you catch hold of this one, leaving the 999, this works every single time. Forget about what others are perceiving about it. Forget about others are feeling about it. Forget about others are behaving or looking at it. Doesn't matter. Others. Because you figured it out. It may see, for the person who is in this 999, for him, this truth won't digest. Because one, he doesn't have the knowledge. Two, he doesn't have the inclination to understand. So what happens for him? This reality is far, far from, a reality. But for you, you're already living it. So don't compare yourself through them. You live the reality by the fact. That's why never bring your mind into the picture of truth, because you bring your mind will fool you, and then it'll create that illusion, and then you're out. So like-minded people. So even Patriji talks about this. Never ever go sit with people who does not understand the truth, because they will drag you down, because they are in this 999, in the box of 999. You are the only one in the box of one. Who do I connect? Connect with the people who are in this box of one. Like-minded people. Figure it out. Socrates says, I go to the end of the earth if I have to find a master who is living the truth. If Socrates is able to go to the end of the earth, right, to figure it out, you cannot even go to your next neighbor and figure it out, or next colony, or wherever your truth seekers are. It is very easy for you to figure it out. That's where all these things are coming. Always be in the association of the like-minded people, where your knowledge expands, where your reality, your consciousness expands, where your pure state of being is realized all the time. Don't ever tell excuse that I cannot do it. I don't have time to do it. You are, if any one of us are saying to ourselves, please remember this point is the most important point. If for any reason you are telling yourself or someone that I don't have time, I am busy, then you are the victim of your own reality. Please underline this. You are a victim of your own reality. Because in that very statement that you made, you just said, I don't want peace, I don't want happiness. You declared to the universe that I don't want peace, I don't want happiness. And hence, you will not get peace, you will not get happiness. It is as simple as that. That's why truth is subtle, but yet more powerful. It's bitter, but that's the fact and reality. You have to face it. If you, for any reason, saying that I cannot do it, I cannot, even after understanding the truth, even after understanding the profound value of truth and what it can bring to you and your life to begin with, and you still are not embracing it, or not still bringing that value into your life, then you are a victim of your own life. You created your own cycle and vicious. You're gonna suffer your own things. That's the reality. Right? So if I don't know, that's what Jesus said, right? Know thyself. If you don't know you, knowing the entire world is not going to help you. Hey, I'm a doctor. I know so much about it. I'm an engineer. I know so much about it. Hey, I do this construction, real estate agent. I mean, I have got so much experience. I'm a tax consultant. I am this. I am lawyer. I know so much worldly affairs. I can manage things. No matter what you may say, what you may, it is all zero if you do not know who you are. That's why Ramana Maharshi, when somebody goes to him, he never asks him about his life, his lifestyle, his line of work, his family. He never asks him. They will talk. I am so and so. I am introducing so and so. I live here. I do this. I all the drama. Then finally, he'll ask a question: do you know who you are? He'll say, I don't know. Then, if you don't know that one thing, what is the point in knowing all this? Please go practice. There's no point in sitting in front of me. Go practice. Go do meditation in the meditation room. That is truth. That alone is the truth. If I am able to open myself to it, if I am able to receive it, if I am able to process it, and hence I live by it. All right. Any other questions? We're gonna get into meditation now. Any questions or any?
Lot of questions. Always lot of questions after hearing everything. We feel like we're getting an overview of everything. But when practical application part, it's very difficult. It's difficult to the extent that we see the problem very temporary. We see it very temporary, but then if sometimes we don't know if it is a small problem, we just witness it, it will go away, or we don't know if we ignore it, it's going to magnify and then haunt us forever. It becomes permanent problem. So that distinction we can make at that time. But at the same time, we know that we are not what we are the souls. But at the same time, we are in a physical form here to do some materialistic things. And in the process, sometimes we tend to forget we're a soul, and then we're so involved into materialistic things. But then when we realize, we try to, as you said, like we have to face so many more difficulties to realize that truth, and then to come to that point where we get to a state of peace or blissfulness within us. I know all Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna Paramahansa, all these people, they're telling us so many things, but as an average or even below average person, how do we at least attain that peace, at least to some extent in our day-to-day lives? Or we take our family, and then what our family is going through, our children is going through, our parents going through, how can we just witness it?
So, so you have given the lengthy this thing, right? There are like so many points that you touched upon, right? See, for all these points, the answer is only one. Solution is only one. Practice meditation. What each of these masters are telling you is not just theoretical. They have practiced. They have brought this into their life. If I I can talk about meditation in 1,000 different ways to you, right? It will not kick anything out of you. Right? You may be get motivated, you may have so many other things, but until you do it, until you bring that, you will not have that feeling. So when you wanted to all these external things that you just talked about, when you go internal, they'll vanish like this. You have to bring your vision inward, not the outward. The reason why I'm saying that, hey, my family, my this, my that, all these things are all external things. What about your internal thing? In the frame of truth, all these won't stand. Now, it may be tough to digest to say that, okay, in the frame of truth, all these won't stand. Then that means that you're not going to let my kids be kids. you're not going to let my husband or my wife, my family, you want to let them go. It is not about that. It is never about them. It is about you as you. They are never in the picture. See, if you really ask the question, where is my family? Is my family outside or family inside? It is inside. Your family is inside of you. If you really want to be compassionate, if you really want to have, a loving life, right? You have to go inside of you. No matter how much you talk, no matter how much you discuss, how much you go through things, outwardly, if you do not practice meditation, it is not going to help. When I say meditation, please don't understand that it has to be only through this technique, that technique. It is not. It is about you going internal, is what I meant. Some decide to be a witness, some decide to go into the state, some decide, the Vedantic approach of it, some decide to go into meditation. Whatever may be that one thing that's going to work you to go inside, figure that out. And go inside. When you go inside, all these questions will vanish.
Okay.
These are all surface things, right? If you just imagine you are in an ocean, right? You always see waves coming, right? These waves are nothing but your life, the ups and downs in your life. You go to the deeper of your being, go to 100 feet into the ocean. Do you see any waves there? It's calm. Why is that? Because it's deep. Similarly, all these things, whatever the external thing that you are looking at, are all here at the surface of it, because you are physically going through it. When you understand that you are not just physical, you are much more than physical. Get into that reality of the truth, then you start to stay in that reality. Everything else is a projection of that reality. Then these things will continue to be there. I'm not saying that these things will vanish, but your attachment towards that will be gone. That attachment is what is blocking, that is bothering, that is suffering. Attachment. That will be gone when you are in that state. That's why go deep, go deep. Without doing meditation, without doing deeper meditation, you will not touch those aspects of your being. That's the point.
Right. Right.
Good question.
So while
Thank you.
practicing meditation, these thoughts keep coming, and you try to always bring yourself back to the breathing and observing your breath. But at what point of practice those thoughts become less and you're more focused on your breaths? Like, how much practice will it take?
At an average, if you're doing 3 hours daily for 41 days, you should get into the state of zero thought, right? In a general sense. But again, how much you are accumulating outside of your meditation time, right? If you are in very emotional state all the time, if you are distressed, you're bringing a lot of problems, you're going through a lot of karmic things, and you are never able to come out of some of those things, and then you're coming in the evening or night and sitting in meditation for 3 hours, you will still continue to carry that baggage, right? So if I have to sum it up, there is no easy or fast way to say that, hey, you do for 1 hour, you get this, or 2 hours, forget. It all depends upon your state of your body, your mind, your intellectual, your state of your being, how much you are in line to the truth, the percentage of light you carry, lot of those factors are coming in play. But in general, there is a math. The general math is every day, do it for 3 hours, for 41 days, you will start to experience things that are inherent to you. That's when you go into that state of no thought. When you are in that state of no thought, you start to get that cosmic energy. When you start to get that cosmic energy, you start to see the immediate relief is all the physical problems, physical illnesses, they are gone, right? You'll start to see a change within you. When you see the change within you, you hold it. You will hold on to it. That's the point. When you hold on to it, you will get it.
Thank you.
Good question. And then I'll tell you one other thing, right? For you to realize the truth, like for example, here, I'll give you a classic example. Truth is such a subtle thing, right? Even after listening, you will not get it. Okay? Even after listening for 10 times or 50 times, you will not get it. That's just the state of the truth. Because that's why it's truth. Okay? And here we are, each of you are not even switching your cameras and sitting, right? Even after switching on your camera, sitting in front of your computer, you 100% focusing on this, you will not get it. That's the state of truth. Okay? Now imagine you are doing your work on the back. Why is that you're not able to switch your cameras? Is because you're doing some work, right? You're preoccupied. And here and then you are trying to listen to this truth. This will never kick into you. Truth, remember, always remember, when you are listening to the truth, you need 100% attention, not even 0.1% less. Otherwise, you will miss the point. If you miss that subtle point, there is no point in listening. That's why in Vedanta, we call about, right, when you have to go deep and deep and deep. If you want to have knowledge of Upanishads or the truth, what they say is they take you into a river or some sea, right? They pull you down until you suffocate, right? That suffocation, you are deep in the water, and you say, I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe. That is when you will be given this knowledge. It is very important that you have to embrace, you have to have the right way of looking at truth. Truth is not going to come to you by putting an audio. It is not going to come to you. You have to attentively watch, attentively focus. Even after this 1 hour, I will ask, I can easily ask questions that you will get lost. That is truth. It's not that I am in truth. That's the truth itself is like that. It's very powerful. It's very confusing. It's very deep. Keep listening, keep listening. Even Shankaracharya said this, right? He said that truth is such a subtle thing that you will not be able to understand it in one go. Then how do I get it? Keep listening. The only way you get some glimpse of truth is you have to keep listening to the same thing 100 times. Then he said, if you listen to 100 times, a glimpse of it, a small inch of it is going to go into you. He didn't say that the whole thing is going to go inside you. So when you want this truth, you have to be dedicated, you have to be committed. Otherwise, all that work that you are putting here is waste. It's futile. Each of us have to understand this. You are practicing meditation means you have to be absolutely dedicated and committed. You cannot have anything else. Otherwise, the truth is not for you. You go suffer your choice of life and then go deal with it. That's why when, if you go into enlightenment hour sessions, or if you go into some of the deeper sessions in the workshops and all, right, they will not allow cell phones. There is a reason why they do that. It is not because that they wanted to teach you something or they want to be harsh. The truth is very powerful, yet it is very subtle. You will not be able to understand even 1 inch of it if you are distracted. As is, our mind is so much, right, distracted to begin with, and having these external distractions will make it even more worst for you. You have to make your time productive. You have to put yourself into it 100%. 100%.
I
All right?
totally agree with you, because in the beginning, when I started doing meditation, my mind used to wander a lot more than now what it does now. So I feel the time I'm focused on my breath, to witness my breath, is increasing slowly. It's not where I want to be, but it is getting better as I practice more and more. So what you're saying is 100% truth. And these things, what you're saying, you pretty much say in all your sessions. It's not like you're telling me something for the very first time. I heard this from you many times before, but seems like every time I'm getting slowly a little bit more. Every time I'm getting more, even though I'm listening the same thing.
Exactly. See, I'm glad, right, that you said it. See, you are able to see the progress, right? That's the good part, right? That's the beauty of this. If from yesterday to today there is a progress, you are a winner. That's it. That's all you need to compare against, right? Don't compare against, last year to this year. There's so much that goes in our life. If for 1 second you sit, or 1 minute you sit, and then you start to compare, what was I yesterday, what was I today, have I done something better in the path of truth? If there is one thing that tells you, yeah, you did this, that's it. It will take you. Believe me, it will take you. We will not become Patriji overnight, but we can certainly try, one step at a time, one step at a time. As long as you have this one step, for me to go 100 feet, I have to take that first step, right? To go 1,000 stairs, I have to take that first step. That first step is yesterday to today. That's it. You will get there. Good. Awesome. So let's do meditation, right? So when you are doing this meditation, right, now that we talked about truth, we talked about the being, we talked about the consciousness, the awareness, and all these aspects of it, let us experience it in the deeper state of meditation. Become the witness of your own breath. When you witness the breath, you come in touch with your reality. Witness the breath. Don't be the breath. Witness the breath. All right? So please take off your glasses. Sit very comfortably in your best postures. Close your eyes. Draw your attention to your breath. Just take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Just relax yourself. Relax the body. Whatever makes you comfortable, just do that. And then adjust, readjust a little bit, Slowly close your eyes. As you close your eyes, bring that reality into you that I am getting into the state of being, I'm getting into this truth. I am the truth. And then attentively start to look at your breath. It is like you're watching the TV, you're going from one channel to another. TV is going, and then you're just watching it. No impressions whatsoever. No expressions, nothing. Just become a witness. Observe your breath, the normal, natural breath. It is happening on its own, my dear masters. We have no role on our breath. Let the breath happen at its own pace. Just become aware that the breath is happening on its own. And have that wonderful feeling that you are the reality. Last 2 minutes. The masters, last 2 minutes. Last 1 minute. Last 1 minute. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands and put on your eyes. And gently, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Masters. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Let us all thank the Masters, universe, and the energies we received today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, anyone would like to share experience or any questions, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. If no further questions, then we'll call it a night. We'll see you all next week for yet another topic on truth. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye. Good morning, India.